Hello everyone, this is Zero the Sane here, and welcome back for another part 3 of What If Deku Was Abandoned and Iron Man, so let's get to it. So the last recap, Izuku had to make his own arc reactor, but he needed some materials. Jarvis had it covered, and once Izuku finally created his arc reactor, Jarvis explained to Izuku that even though he created his arc reactor, he had to create a new one in the future. And now Izuku had to make his first suit, the prototype, while his grandpa had Mark II, but it's an adult size, and he needs to make one. Once he's finished, he will have to test flight, and Jarvis warned him to not to go to high altitude, that the prototype will freeze if his grandfather learned that mistake, but he was safe. But Izuku agreed and took off with his Mark II and fly around the city and return back to the mansion that was abandoned, but it was disguised. So another 10 years, one day before the sludge villain incident, and Izuku built some armor like in Iron Man 3. Those are armor that he made are stronger, like in the light of Iron Man 3 movie. So stronger. So that's all the recap, and let's get to it. Also, happy Easter. I know this is so late because I had to spend time with my family of it. We have like a good laugh of it. So I know my video will be posted someone at 10 or 9, so happy Easter Day. Okay, waste my time, so let's get to it. The story. Isuga has spent years preparing for his day. Though abandoned by his parents, he held onto his dreams of becoming a hero, even in the face of ridicule. He remained steadfast as he walked into Albert Junior High School. He carried with one of his volume of his hero analysis for the future notebook. And yes, he still has all the hero's journal after he got abandoned. So he got all of them. So let's get back to the story. Like in canon, the teacher announced that many of the students aim to become a hero, and including Bakugo. Izuku childhood friend turned bully proudly declared that he was going to be the UA High, but the teacher interrupted, revealing that Izuku also planned to apply the UA. The class erupted into laughter, except for Bakugo, who was furious. He blasted Izuku's desk with his quirk, yet Izuku remained unfazed of it, even though they were not child friends. And this pissed Izuku, or Bakugo, who was furious, was about to blast attack one more time, but before he could do that, the teacher interfered and prevented the full-blown blast. After school, Izuku attempted to leave without conflicted, but Bakugo and his goons cornered him. Having long learned to evade them, he tried to change his route, but they had to contemplate it. Bakugo deemed that Izuku should give up on UA High, but Izuku refused it. Enraged, and right after or before Izuku is about to leave, Bakugo smirked cruelly and suggests Izuku to take a swan dive off the roof to be reborn with a quirk in the next life. Izuku stopped, turned his head, and stared at Bakugo with a fire in his eyes. You know, there's something about you. You're no hero, he said coldly. Telling someone to end their life? That makes you a villain. With that, he walked away, leaving Bakugo and his gang in stunned silence. Bakugo clenched his fist in rage, but by the time he moved and tried to go to the hallway, he was gone. Under the bridge, Izuku heard a strange noise coming from the sewers. Suddenly, the celestial lurched at him. Reacting swiftly, he activated a console functions on his left wristwatch. As the monster reached him, an electric discharge shot out, stunning the villain and rendered him unconscious. Seconds later, All Might Rise spotted the defeated villain. He turned to Izuku. Did you do this, young kid? Izuku nodded, and with his still, and after he still have his fanboy in him, he told him that can he get autographed. Chuckled All Might over with before sealing the villain inside the empty bottle. Just as he was about to leave, Izuku stopped him with a question. Can someone be a hero without a quirk? All Might hesitated before responded. I'm sorry, but no, without a quirk, it's too dangerous. Izuku wasn't upset because he understood the logic behind it, but then he asked another question. Do you know the name Tony Stark? All my expression changed from one of hesitation to shock. How do you know that name? Izuku was equally surprised. Before All Might could tell him one more time, his time limit ran out. Realized he had to leave as soon as he left. Before he was about to leave, he asked him, Tell me, boy, are you planning to go to UA? All Might have said, Yes, I'm intended to the UA High. Izuku said. All Might simply nodded as Izuku mentioned it of UA and leaped away, dropping the bottle containing the sludge villain in the process. As Izuku walked away, he ponders why All Might knew about his grandfather's name. Was it they knew like long time? He not sure. But his thoughts were interrupted by an explosion. Rushing to the scene, he saw Bakugo trapped in the slush villain, gasping while the pro hero hesitation, claiming they lacked the proper quirk to interfere. Frustrated, Suga just... What? Are they serious? They let this him attack while struggling for his life while they say that they don't have a proper quirk? I know this intelligence. I know for a fact they can do this all together. And not just that. But, however, he looked Bakugo one more time. But something urged that his body move on its own. Without hesitation, Izuku activated his right wristwatch, transforming it into a Iron Man gauntlet. Ignored the pro hero's protested that you cannot go there. He charged at the villain. The sludge villain lashed out with tendrils, but Izuku shot them down with a percentage blast. No electrocution could subdue the villains, but now wanted to harm Bakugo. He devised a plan. Focus on the sludge villain's eye. Izuku fired at the control blast, temporarily blinded it. Bakugo was released, and Izuku delivered the finishing blow before blowing the left wristwatch that has electrocution in the left one, and hit it the sludge villain. The villain collapsed unconscious once again. The crowd erupted in cheers, celebration, Izuku heroism. And Izuku? It was his first time that he was happy that he did something. But as he stood amongst them, he felt conflicted. Why he had to save Bakugo? The person who would torment him for years. Before he could answer, the pro hero scolded him for acting recklessly. Meanwhile, Bakugo was praised despite doing nothing. No, for real. In the anime, they praise him because what? Yes, he did fight back the sludge villain, but he was completely useless when the sludge villain had his advantage. Like, what? Infuriated, Izuku yelled at the pro hero, insisted that what he did was right. And you pro heroes. You guys were supposed to help him, but you only lack. But they don't. You guys don't have proper quirks. You want me to stay here and watch him suffocate for death? What kind of hero are you? When I accused him for using a quirk, but P.S. By the way, the pro heroes thought Izuku used energy quirk blast. But Izuku, he had enough of that. He unsleeved both of his middle school outfit, revealed both of his wrist device, both of them, and started that he was quirkless, and he built this device to himself. As he said that, this left the crowd in stunned silence, including All Might, who was watching from the sideline, including Bakugo, perhaps. All Might or Toshinori thought he could talk to him in private, but he remembered that what he told him, that he's going to UA, which he said yes, so he will meet him in the UA. So he left the crowd, and Bakugo, he was about to go after Izuku, but he was gone again. As the event conclusion, Izuku returned to his hidden mansion, his true home. Inside his workshop, he gazed upon the suit and gadget he had spent years developing the UA X-ray exam. Because for that, he has work to do, because the X-ray exam was in 10 months. And right before you guys curious, like, where does Izuku live? Well, it is quite very hard because the My Hero Academia map does not make any sense. But I can confirm that Izuku was born in Mustafar in the animated. And he took a train. Well, yeah, he actually took a train to go to UA. And knowing that Izuku lived in the mansion or abandoned one, that the location is in a river, I would say he took that. Well, let's just say he took the a train over there, like right near at the sea. Like, we don't know exactly the location where the location is or how far is the UA. We don't know. For me, I have absolutely don't know of it. So okay, I had to take a wild guess. So yeah, he was in there and he took the train. I don't know how far he was, and not even that. It's kind of very hard to explanation about this. And for Bakugo, well, like in the anime, Bakugo have like a little truce of Izuku. So he was trying to do that, but he cannot find him, knowing that if people knows that a quirkless Izuku or like that saved him, yeah, people are going to suggest that Bakugo was kind of weak, and he was not going to let that happen. And All Might, I know in the anime that All Might just went after Izuku, like after the event of the Sledgeville incident, and tell him that what he did was like a heroism, and ask him to give his one for all to Izuku. But I changed it that All Might will remember that Izuku is going to UA, so he'll wait for him in the next 10 months. So I'm going to stop right here. So what do you guys think? What will All Might do when Izuku is in UA? How will Bakugo think that quirkless Izuku or Deku saved him? Why did Izuku move on his own, even though that Bakugo bullied him? Find it out on my channel. Like and subscribe if you guys want for another part 4. And peace.